In that wonderful movie, Forrest said, life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what's on the inside. Here we have veggies with every meal. We have our bunny and our beautiful jelly. The jelly is made with that beautiful turmeric and the lemon myrtle, my favourite beverage, and tamarind. Then so we've used agar, which is a sea vegetable, so we're getting the vegetables into us with that one. And it's just beautiful. It's a lovely little snack. So we'll show you how we're going to make our little treats. I'll just put Bunny down. Oops, sorry. So we've soaked all our very few nuts. We've soaked our seeds. We've soaked the amaranth, soaked the buckwheat, and we've soaked all the dried fruit. And so now we're going to prepare. Now, a really good preparation is a rainbow pie. So what we have to start with, we have to start with a base. So we'll go with the colours. So red, when you do your base, you don't want to put any fruit or veggies in there because you need that pretty dense. So in there we've started with red, so we've got goji berries, some raspberries, and the soaked buckwheat, and a little bit of coconut, so you can see it's quite thick, so that's really good for a base. Or you can just use it as like a little ball. You can just roll it up and you've got a little ball, and of course if you dip it into chocolate, well then you've got a beautiful treat. So we've started here, so there we have them, and we're going to add our layers. So what's the best way to do your rainbow pie is in like a springform pan, and you just keep layering them. And as you layer your colours of the rainbow, you just pop it into the freezer so that it sets. So for about 15 minutes, by the time you're preparing your next layer, in it goes. And then you can top it with the beautiful chocolate on top. So we've got just one layer here, and we'll just put the layer of the green, which is actually pineapple, the base. Now I haven't used a lot of fruits. I used one pineapple for all of this, one pineapple, 4 bananas, 4 avocados, and a dragon fruit, and pulp. I used some pulp from where I've made the juice that I made to go into there. I actually did add some carrot too because we're doing Easter bunnies. So we just put that in there, and then we'll top it with some chocolate, and that's a beautiful little treat. And I will be making the pie, and I'll come back with the pie all made for you. So we've put sauerkraut into the chocolates. We have the lovely sauerkraut chocolates here, and they are nut-free. So what they have in there, instead of having nuts, they actually have the pot buckwheat. So that's just some buckwheat that was soaked in the coconut kefir, if you remember the soaking that we did last night. So these have got they have the veggies added. It's got a scoop of sauerkraut, a grated carrot, a grated beetroot, and a grated apple, some spice, some cinnamon and nutmeg, and oh, I wished I could share them with you, but you're going to make them. You've got all these recipes in the Choco Bites ebook that you can download, or in module 7, it also has some, where the mixing in, there's some lovely chocolate recipes there. And this little chocolate, which is just so beautiful when you put it on top. You can do so much with this. You can thin it and you can use it as a syrup, or you can make it thicker. I mean, I've put some beet kvass in there because I just think beetroot and chocolate are just a marriage made in heaven. So that just goes onto there. And they're just so delicious. So that'll just go into the fridge, and we've got a lovely little into the freezer actually is where I put them. Now, of course, when you freeze your lacto ferments, the good bacteria will probably die, but we're using it for flavouring, and we're getting enough of our lacto ferments in all our brines and veggies and everything that we eat during the day, so it's not a problem. Now, when you're doing your layers, except for that first layer, do put in something with fat, because otherwise it'll go to ice. So you can use like a little bit of coconut oil. If you want to really thicken it, you can use some coconut butter, or you can use some nuts. But just you'll get the gist of it. You just put it all in front of you, and you just go along and make it. It's so easy. This is is just frozen fruit, which is just put through the mixer, which is a beautiful little ice cream, or an ice cream as it likes to be called. So that's a lovely little treat. And of course I add a little bit of green banana flour, which is that prebiotic as we spoke about. And I also add some, I can't help myself, but I also add some kvass in there. The banana's got a little bit of cacao, so and you've got different flavours. Actually, as you go down, there's pink and there's, well, just plain banana, and then there's chocolate. So that's a great little snack, and you can still add your kvass, because like I say, I just think those two just go together so lovely. So I will be back with the final, with the pie all made, and any questions you have, just pop her along there. If you can't find a recipe, just ask, because I'll pop that up for you. It's not a problem. Your soaked fruit, the liquid that comes off, that's a great sweetener. So even when you're making your chocolate, where it has a sweetener that we've got there, you know, your choice of whether you use honey or whatever you want to use as a sweetener, well, you can use that as an alternative, because that's a wonderful sweetener, and you've got it on hand because you've already soaked all your dried fruits, and which was soaked in the water kefir. The fig, like that, you can see it's just gone back to soft. It's almost like a fresh fig. So that drying of those soaking of your dried fruits just gets at that really concentrated sugar level. But not only that, it tastes beautiful. I'm looking like the Easter bunny with chocolate all over me. I think I've really gone through it all for you, so I'll see you when we have the pie all made.